All right, so welcome to Made in Chafford podcast episode. I want to say 76. Correct me if I'm wrong.
77?
Could be
77, bro.
Oh man, I'm normally right.
Fumbled the bag.
He was close, he was close.
Definitely. Oh man, one off. But 77. The road to 100 continues. Not too far now, but yeah, no. Episode 77, Main Chafford podcast. Boys, do your thing. Introduce yourselves.
Yes, sir. Colson Nusi, Don Corleone in the building. It is what it is when it isn't. Had to bring the bars out because we got a rap ahead. You know what I mean?
Listen,
I have to sharpen my pen.
What's happened? He's heard Lemon Pepper freestyle. Now he thinks he's a bad boy.
That's what it does.
I hear that.
Flex it.
Has to be done.
I have no bars.
You just have the cane rolls.
Feel me.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's powers.
Yeah, no, it's E-Man G45. What's going on, people? You already know. Yeah.
I love it. We've got a special guest in the building. Introduce yourself. Big up yourself.
Yo, my name's Javel, but today I'm coming as La'Pelle today, as the rapper, as the artist.
Jeez.
Thanks, my brothers, for allowing me on this. Made in Chaff podcast. These men have been putting in the work, so please follow that at them, all of that. But yeah, man, I'm just here to kind of spread the word and obviously spread the artistry. So appreciate it, brothers.
I love that. Honestly, yeah, I love when we have guests like this because this is like family. You know what I mean? Like we're all from Chafford. We've grown up together. So and then to see your progression, I'm excited to discuss the EP and just your music journey thus far.
Yeah,
we just have to get straight into it. So, I mean, give the people, so the EP's dropping soon, give the people a breakdown, let them know what can we expect, what's coming.
It's out, bro.
For sure. So it's out. It dropped on Friday. No, it's okay. It dropped Friday, 5 p.m. To be fair to yourself as well, I didn't give a lot of people like that teaser or like for a few months. I kind of chopped it up with my cousin being the producer. And we thought, this is actually kind of hard. Let's just release this within the week. So it dropped Friday, 5 p.m. It's a two-track EP. And I know me and Iman was kind of speaking privately, and I know people were like, oh, why was it short or stuff like that? But I think it was kind of just to see, to build the momentum and the brand. And obviously, SoundCloud exclusive, I kind of wanted to see the feedback that would get. And, they possibly maybe an extended tape if the streets are asking for it, or my friends are asking for it or whatever. But we'll see how it is. It's one of them ones as well. Like I wanted to bring the visuals, so when the visuals come, that's when it will obviously be on Spotify and then so forth. We can build more momentum going. It was more of like a chess move, I suppose. But yeah, it's been a like short journey as a rapper. To be fair, I only started doing it. It might be 6 months now. I think it was like October, and it was more working on like tight beats on YouTube. Everyone's had that. I feel like I can rap. Let me get the tight beats up and try that.
I hear that.
But like, I think the challenging thing was, I've done a poetry piece with you guys before with Eman.
And
I think so that made it a little bit easier trying to writing, but also made it harder trying to transition that onto like a beat because poetry is kind of longer words, so you need to shorten it down and stuff like that just to kind of fit the pockets of the beat and that. So that was a bit of the challenge, but I'm enjoying it, man, and I've kind of feel like I've got a taste for it, so I'm just going to keep on putting more work for sure.
No, I love that. So one of the things I'd say is I was really impressed with the artwork. That was what it was for me. And obviously, so now I'm going to go do my diligence and do my research, and obviously I'm going to take in the EP as I should. Yeah. What can I expect then? Seeing as I didn't already know it was out, now I know it's out. Yeah. I'm gonna go check it out first thing after this. What can I expect?
I think it's. I don't want to say that. I feel like that's quite cliche to say different, but there's not a box you can kind of put the music in, and I think the artwork kind of spoke in itself as well, and that's probably why probably caught people's attention. You know what I'm saying? Especially as well, I didn't want to put the first artwork as like. A self-image thing. I kind of wanted to put something that I'm into. So like, E-Man could vouch for this, but I'm a man that loves a peppermint tea wherever I go. So it was kind of like I like a peppermint tea, or just to unwind, however. But so I think that kind of just spoke to my personality in regards of like the sound. I think you can see a UK influence as well as a US, but I think I kind of made it my own. So yeah, I think you enjoy it, and yeah, and because even like comments that I've got back is like, oh, what do you kind of call this rap? Is it like cloud rap or stuff like that? So it's not I believe like a generic sound. You know, like you could say grime or drill. I don't think you could just say it out.
Yeah, you can't put yourself in that box.
Yeah, in that box like that. So yeah.
I mean, so what would you say? Who's certain artists that have inspired you when in your process, and what's been the process when you was writing these tracks that you was going into?
So I think my inspirations have been, I quite like UK right now for music's just doing bits like, and it has been doing bits for a while, but I've been really fucking with like the new sound. Sorry, my language. I've been really.
Now you gotta get them off, man.
I've been really messing with the new sound, like artists like DXVL, Arton, my cousin Dead Capri, he produces, and it's more like the underground sound. Sam Wise, House of Pharaohs, like a lot of these UK underground people that's putting in the work. That's been my influence, but also kind of like the trap sound of like Playboy Carti and all of these people. Just kind of that headbutt vibe, you know, the little screw face when you catch that 808s coming in. So it's a bit of a merge of that and just kind of making it my own. In regards to the writing process, as I said, naturally, it's come to me just writing anyway. But then trying to like get a beat and fit into that, it was hard and easy in its own right. I think sometimes catching the melody before catching the words can be a bit confusing and vice versa. So it was like what I'd do is I'd write like a 8-bar, and then I'd listen to the beat. And then I'll be like, all right, cool, now I'm going to go off it from there, rather than like writing beforehand and just trying to lay a whole, 16-bar or something over the track. So it's kind of just trying to catch the vibe first and then trying to write it down.
Yeah, you can tell from the beats that they're actually quite vibey, like especially Rick and Morty, because like even like, so for example, recently I've been listening to a lot of like old school hip hop, right? And the album behind me, 80 Aliens, like that album, they proper got into like their space bag. And when I listen to that beat, it gives me that Rick and Morty type of. It literally reminds me of Rick and Morty. So it was it's a perfect name for the song. Do you know what I'm saying?
And that album, Outcast 80 Aliens, sorry, is a wavy one. Like that's when they really brought their sound. And I think as well, I've listened to that album and they speak a lot on spirituality. And I don't know if you caught the bars, but I kind of speak about the same thing as well. And I just think it's just like trying to echo to be in tune with yourself, and also. What I represented, it's not like I'm just doing music full time. Like I'm actually like some of you, man. I'm working 9 to 5, so I kind of wanted to speak on that and just be like, I kind of got the knack for rapping, but I'm still doing my grind that I got to do day to day.
I like that. You've given your true self.
Yeah, I was just kind of speaking myself and speaking my story, and obviously, like, just as you said, speaking about myself, really. So it's been good.
No, I like that. That's the best way to go about it as well, because the only person you can be is yourself, and putting your own influences on it as well. I think that's amazing.
Yeah, 100%. And I think like, I'm not gonna lie, I tried to do a bit of drill beat, like try to do drill type beats just to see if I could rap on that, and it didn't. The frequency didn't register with me, and maybe it's just like it wasn't my truth that I could speak on that kind of track. So when I heard those 2 beats on the EP, it was like, actually, I can fit into this, and I can get out there. So it was a bit of like a journey to find the right tempo, should I say, the right frequency that I can wave on for sure.
Nah, you got to be your true self. I mean, we're from Chafford. I don't think any of us could ride a drill beat. That would have been impossible. What are you, man? What were we gonna say?
I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Cool man at the station. It's just not been our life. It's not the life we've led.
Exactly. So sorry, David, to cut you short, but exactly that. Like, it's not our life, and I think just speaking about our truth, I know it could connect more for the people like us. That's some of us have lived in London and maybe a bit of a rough area, and then got moved by our parents into like a nicer area like Chafford 100. It still had a bit of its roughness to it, but it's better than where we've been from. So I have to kind of speak that, and obviously a bit of opportunity that some people may not have had. So yeah, it's been a blessing, man. Been a blessing to put art out there.
Well done. Yo, what are you saying?
Chafford's a bad man area. What are you talking about?
Nah, come on.
Let the Chaff man come for you.
He's disrespecting that.
In comparison to other areas, it's sweet. Come on.
Yeah.
So it's sweet.
It's home, but it's sweet. Come on, dog. Our biggest concern
yeah.
is not trying to miss the last train.
Yeah, that's the main concern. You know, I was there trying to get that last train.
When that's your concern, I don't even don't want to hear no one from Chafford on a drill beat.
Fam, when did you start? When did you like think, you know what, like I'm actually put this stuff out there? What was the switch point for you?
So like, it's kind of been a blessing to have some like real friends like yourself and like people that would just say, I could send the music to and they'd be like, all right, let me see what you're doing here. And I had feedback from the man, and some of them weren't feeling some of the tunes and some of them were. But I think it was like, actually, you know, a lot of people were saying you have potential. So I kind of was like, you know, that's a reinforcement to kind of give this a go. In regards to putting the music out there, I think I kind of just had like a, you know, fuck it moment. It's not gonna hurt, innit? Like let's just put it out there and see how it goes. So I think I made like about 4 or 5 tunes prior to this, dropping the EP. And then, you know, I kind of was like finding my flow, finding my bag, I suppose. And then I was just like, right, let's just drop something and then see what I can do. And also I can listen to this EP, critique it myself and see where I can improve, and then go when I do drop something else, it kind of like is me, you know, leveling up, I suppose. So
yeah,
that's even interesting. Like, I guess it's still quite fresh, but you've been able to sit on the songs for what must have been a while now. Do you have any critiques of yourself already that you've? The
thing is, Ademi, I actually haven't been sitting on the tunes for a while, so I'll be real with you guys. I made those 2 tunes like last weekend with my cousin, and like, as I said, the vibe, the energy was drinking our peppermint tea, and we got the idea started flowing. I was like, actually, you know what? There's something here. Like, let's just release it and see what the reception we get to it. So it wasn't that premeditated, but yeah, we just kind of went with it. So I think it was more like a feeling just to kind of drop it than, oh, actually, you know, we're going to do it like this, we're going to do it like this. So, but so far, if I were to critique myself, I don't know. I think I'd say like changing the way I kind of use my voice. But I think that's something that will kind of come over time. You know, there's like, you know, there's ranges how you can use your voice and deliver those kind of bars. I think, you know, right now it's like, to be modest, I think I'm quite hard as a rapper, but also I'm quite one-dimensional to a degree because I've only just started. Do you know what I mean? I've only just started, and I'm only saying it's just because I want to better myself and be the master of what I'm doing right now. So I say that's the only way I could critique myself. But in regards of what I'm speaking about, I feel like from a lot of rappers that start out, I've got a substance. So I think that's what kind of differs me from when people start out, I suppose.
Love that. All right, so just before we close on this particular topic, what do you want people to take away from the EP?
It's more just like the vibe, and just like if you are in, you know, kind of, I don't want to say crossroads, but in, you know, you are the person that's working, doing your 9 to 5, and also like you've got a creative outlet like you, man. You know, the podcast thing, that's your creative outlet. You know, talking about the culture, talking about whatnot. I think it's just kind of resonating with those people. Like, you know, we can kind of do both, and at the end of the day, we can excel in both. There's no wrong with that. You know what I mean? I feel like with these kind of scenarios, it's always like either or. And I'm like, nah, you know, we can do both. We're black excellence, we're all excellence, and we can do both if we want to get involved with that. And I'm like surrounded by talented people like yourselves, and I've got like my missus that does the graphic design, and my cousin that's in-house. So it's all just kind of these creative energies that even allow me to, you know, why not give it a go in something else as well. So that's what I kind of want the EP just to speak to the people like that. Like, you know, you can get into whatever you want to get into. And I'm 28, and people might say that's raw. Like, not 28, sorry, I'm 27 this year. But like, some people might say that's a bit too late to start rapping. But like, no, it's never too late to get into it.
Never too late, man. Never too late, man.
I think like, yeah, that's what I'm trying to speak to, just to get in your, be curious and don't think you can't do what that person's doing. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. So yeah, that's.
I do like that takeaway, and yeah, focusing on the never too late angle. It's just, if you want to do something or you want to have a creative outlet, you have to go for it.
100%. And I think it's therapeutic to have something else outside of what you do, your work or whatever, because you need to work for you. You need to give something back to yourself. So I think when you have something like that you can work on, it's therapeutic at the same time as well.
That's a fact. All right. So, second topic for today. The boy Drizzy himself dropped Scary Hours 2, gave us 3 tracks. What's Next, Wants and Needs, and Lemon Pepper Freestyle. How are you guys feeling about it?
I want to let the boys speak first because I actually haven't heard this just because as an artist now, I've been working on me. So, but what I'll do, Demi, after this, I'll listen to
I respect that.
Or if we can play a little teaser of the tracks and maybe I'll give it a run. But yeah, I'll let Collins and E-Man cover this first and then I'll see.
Collins, what are you saying?
I think it's good. I enjoyed it. I feel like he covered all his bases. So obviously he put out What's Next, which is kind of like the single, the hype song, get everybody excited, whatever. Had a couple different experimental flows on there. It was a good song. I'm not mad at it. Wants and Needs, again, he was out of pocket, especially at the beginning. His first verse, he's not even riding the beat. So I was like, wow, what is he doing here? So I'm actually impressed that he's actually trying to do something different. And obviously it's the same kind of concept, same kind of things he's talking about, but he's delivering it in different ways. So I was happy with that song. And I think Lil Baby absolutely murdered that song as well.
Yeah,
his verse is ridiculous. Man said he's the GOAT and he fits the description. I said, yo, this guy's in his bag. But the song that stands out the most for me is Lemon Pepper Freestyle, man. That song, Drake has reached a new level of rich. That's all I've got from that song.
So everything you're talking about, you can't even, it's not even things we'll see in our lives, man.
I can't relate anymore. Actually, I can't relate.
But
for now, I can't relate. But yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Do you feel like, what song was it? The first track.
Wants and Needs. Not Wants and Needs. What's next?
What's next?
What's next, right? I feel like that song was made for A$AP Ferg. I feel like
maybe.
Made for...
What, as a diss? Sorry, like
no, not as a diss.
Okay.
Not as a diss. Just like the style in rapping, the song.
Yeah, I can see that actually.
Yeah, I just felt like that was for A$AP Ferg. So that was my only like qualm about the whole.
I did not like it.
Piece. But other than that, I'm feeling it.
Yeah,
I only listened to the thing like twice. I wasn't really too involved with it. I only listened to it twice, so I can't really give a real conclusive opinion. But I can definitely say what I've heard is decent. It's definitely nice.
Is What's Next the one with the... Sorry, man. Is that the one that he says like, they want to know what's next on Valentine's Day? I was having sex. Is that the one?
Yeah, so yeah, that's that one.
Yeah, so yeah.
Next, okay. So
some corny bars, man.
No, you know...
Okay.
You know,
I just stretched, okay. Valentine's, I had sex, okay.
You know what? The thing is, though, I heard that track today, actually, because my missus played it. But
yeah.
That, for me, I liked it because it's kind of like he makes a mockery on like himself and also like you know what I mean, like the audience, because everyone wants to kind of know what Drake was. Is when his baby mum thing came out, everyone was like, "Wow, what's going on?" We had the whole Pusha T situation, so it's like I like that he can still find the funny side of like, "No, I'm doing this. Like, you want to know what's next? Here we go." So I like the way he can, you can kind of make that conversational in the track. So I found that hard. But I can see why also it could be deemed corny as well, because like Drake,
I don't know, man. I wasn't feeling What's Next. I don't think I wasn't crazy about the beat selection. I'd already heard it because it was a leak. So I'd already heard it. When I heard it when it leaked, I was like, yo, this is not good. So I was surprised he went with it because he's got better leaks out there. But I was very, very impressed with Wants and Needs because I felt, obviously, that's probably the best Lil Baby's been in a while. He's been pretty average and just turning in the same stuff. But they both came, and they've got very good history, those two, when they come together. So I enjoyed that. And then Lemon Pepper Freestyle was fantastic. My only criticism is maybe it's a bit long at 6 minutes because it does just start to become him rambling and just we can't relate. But other than that, I was actually very impressed. 2 good songs I'll take away. I probably won't ever listen to What's Next again unless I hear it outside.
I heard it's going number one, bro. So you're gonna hear it outside.
Wait until June 21st. Yeah, this guy will be.
It'll hit differently then. Don't worry, it'll hit different.
Do you know, I'm a liar. I'll be the one telling the DJ, "Yo, can you play what's next?" I'm not even gonna hold you. So yeah, you already know me, but I didn't. On first listen, it weren't for me. But 2 good songs, man, that I'll take away. I've had Wants and Needs on repeat most of the weekend. So, man, he did his thing. And all it was designed to do is to create a buzz for the album, which is coming. I'm just intrigued as to what sort of sound he's going to come with that.
And with Drake as well, it's like he's mastered so many sounds. He's been on like the top end of the charts. It's kind of like, where do you go with this? But
that's what I'm interested in.
He always do. He does attempt to take us somewhere else each album, and I think it's usually successful in it. Do you know what I mean? If we're going to talk about it in like numbers sense. But yeah, I'm intrigued as well.
Yeah, well, I don't think he'd concern himself, or I wouldn't worry for him about numbers. I think it's more, I wonder what Certified Lover Boy is going to sound like. I just don't know what sound he's going to take with that.
I'm good. I think go on, Demi.
I think he's ready for his confirmed classic. You know, the one that's undisputable. It's going to probably be about 10 to 15 tracks long, very tight, and a similar approach to Nothing Was the Same. I just don't know how it's going to sound.
I was thinking about Nothing Was the Same.
Is it going to be instant classic?
I'm thinking this is an attempt to go for it.
Instant classic.
As in, it's unanimously, it's a classic.
It's a bold claim.
I could be wrong, but I think that's his goal on this one.
No, I just asked because I remember fully having a conversation with you on the podcast saying you'd love to say instant classics, and right now you're confirming instant classics.
I'm not saying it's going to be a classic. I'm saying I think that's what he wants. He wants that confirmed classic. What albums have I said are instant classics?
So many. We even said what's his name? Gets is an instant classic. Like, let the album.
What is?
Gets his album, Conflict of Interest, instant classic.
Sometimes you just know it's a classic.
It is to me, boy. I'll not take that out of rotation at all.
That's a fact. Yeah, I get to this thing.
But in terms of like how I feel about it, I think he's gonna try to be certified to the streets, and he's gonna try to be a lover boy as well. So I think that's what he's gonna try and do.
He's definitely gonna try
because he has the clothing line with Nike, Nocta. In some ways, it's received backlash because of like the
Nocta?
Like for example, the bomber jackets, him jacking like the London style of having to be roads. Do you know what I'm saying? So he's taken that style, obviously made it his, sold it around.
Do you agree with that then? Like, do you feel like it's jacking? Because this is what I think is a bit tricky nowadays. Like the influence, like is it influenced by the London swag? And he's just kind of, or is he actually catting it? Because, I feel like the UK and the US has been bridging it, you know what I mean? Like,
where he's from, Toronto as well, I think they're very influenced. London and Toronto, from what I've seen, are very similar places. I wouldn't be surprised if that's their drip as well. I personally weren't crazy about it. I don't like bomber jackets that don't have a hood. Or I think that I would have liked it more if it had a hood, but it doesn't. But yeah, I don't think he's jacking personally.
Yeah, I mean there was that. But back to what I was saying. I mean, there was that Nike situation where people were saying, he's copying styles from London, and then but even though he's been successful in the Nike brand, now he's dropping an album. I think this is like he's gonna have to show. I mean, with that Yes Okay song, he's gonna have to show that yes, he's a certified guy. At the same time, he's gonna have to show that he's the lover boy that everybody loves.
He's played to both sides very well his whole career.
A very successful album, mainly due to the fact that the summer is coming back for everybody in Western civilization.
That vaccine could save it, boy. Save the summer.
But can I, as an audience, do we still want from Drake? Like, and what I mean by this question is like, I feel like he might have surpassed himself now, if this makes sense. Like, he's done the Certified thing, like we said. He's done the Loverboy. He's done the Marvin Rooms. He's done the Nothing Was the Same. Like, I'm trying to think, like, where else can he go with?
Yeah, there's not a lot of other spaces he can get into, and it's the same. Then when your favorite artist or one of your favorite artists gives you the album that you want from them, it's very rarely that you'll get it again. I don't think he could recapture what he did on If You're Reading This Is Too Late. It's the same way I could scream to J. Cole, please make something as good as 2014 Forest Hill Drives, but he's not in that headspace anymore. He's not going to be able to deliver that. You know what I mean? So Drake's given me If You're Reading This Is Too Late. I'm grateful for that. And What a Time to Be Alive. I don't need anything else. He's already done that for me. Yeah. So I just enjoy his music now.
Yeah, no, I get you. Because, like, for me, like, Take Care and Nothing Was the Same. I actually would use what you say, Debbie, the instant classics for me. Like, personally, like, I can go back, listen to that. It takes me to a place where, actually, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm saying, man was more of a bit of a sweet boy these days, connected to the but like, you know, like, yeah, so they're like instant classics for me. So I think, yeah, I'm in that same headspace. Like, whatever he releases now, it's just for the enjoyment, isn't it? It's not even like
exactly, yeah. Take it in his vibes, man. I think that's what he's always going to deliver, and he knows. Like Iman said, Western civilization is about to get back to it, so he knows when the perfect time to drop will be. They're saying April, April, May. I think will be perfect timing. Let people take it in, and then when they're allowed back outside, it's going to be insane.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
I think he's made the right play. Okay, so moving on to the third topic. Could someone remind me, because it's escaped my mind?
WandaVision.
WandaVision finale. Thank you. Yes.
I don't think it's finale.
It was what?
I don't think it's finale. So basically, apparently, yeah, it is the season finale of WandaVision on the actual series itself. But Disney Channel WandaVision has 10 episodes. Do you understand what I'm saying? So basically, the TV show of when it was like the 1960s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 20s, and then 10s, and then like the previous episode, spoiler alert, like when she just takes out like the whole TV,
the hex,
the energy hex. Yeah, when she takes out that's the final season of that TV series show that she was broadcasting from her mind. But there's a next episode. Apparently, I'm not too sure, but apparently that is what it is.
I'm gonna say I've heard otherwise. I heard that theory, but they're saying it's false. I mean, they would say it's false, and then they'd be like on Friday, "Hi guys, surprise!" But I don't think they're gonna go with that play. I think that it's. I think it's done personally. But was everyone satisfied with it? I personally was not. I think it was the series as a whole has been a 7 out of 10. So it's been good, but I wasn't satisfied with the ending personally.
Why?
I think Marvel only have themselves to blame, but there was a lot of red herrings and like a lot of false promises. You made people bigger than they needed. That Evan Peters thing, I'd be on the phone to my agent right now. I'd be livid. Man came back from Fox X-Men and these man said you're gonna be Ralph Boner. I'd be like, what am I even doing here? All the leading, I still think Mephisto will come about, but all the leading up to that, okay, it might be my own fault here a little bit. I have to take some responsibility for getting too gassed and thinking, they're gonna do this, they're gonna do that. But I just don't think they went as crazy as they could have gone with it. I think the finale ended up being very tame in comparison to what we were promised. These man went on and she said, it's going to have a Luke Skywalker level cameo. And then you got Paul Bettany saying, I'm getting the opportunity to work with an actor I've never worked with before. Lo and behold, the actor's his bloody self. Like, fucking hell. You can see why I'm vexed. Like,
yeah, I hear you.
My expectations would have been fine. I would have been like, that was a nice TV show. I think certain weeks, it was some of the best TV I'd seen in a long time. Just the ideas that they were trying to put in place and the things that they were working with. But I think it just didn't land. It didn't land, basically.
But is that Marvel? Is that Marvel in a nutshell? I feel like sometimes they do things
They
that
do have a third
are
act
excellent.
problem.
Stuff that's like 10 out of 10 moments. We all know them. Do you know what I mean? I don't need to repeat them.
Mm.
But then for the most part, some of it is kind of meaty, average, like you kind of think it's a bit forgetful. And maybe they just kind of translated that into the TV show. Because I felt like the last episode was just like a typical, okay, wrap it up, superhero, plot.
Couldn't agree more. I've not actually watched WandaVision. So
okay.
Let me land because E-Man has been telling me about it, and obviously he said it's like sick and to watch it.
Yeah.
Why I have like kind of like hesitated to watch it is because is this the first like Marvel series they've put out there before?
It is, yeah.
Technically from the
Marvel,
MCU,
from the MCU, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like I think I'm being a bit judgmental, but I'm like I don't know how like the take is going to be because I'm used to watching a Marvel film and that's that, I'll leave it there. But like as in the series, I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to kind of take it. I'm going to give it a go, but that's why I don't think I've even watched it because it's just.
I would say it's a good watch, and do you know what? You have the pleasure of watching it as one. So a lot of the things so I can already tell you that the first 2 episodes they're not going to make sense to you. You know what I mean? But you're lucky enough in the sense that you'll be able to just watch it and enjoy it as one.
As one go.
Yeah. So it's tough, man. I feel like Marvel had something really good there and they let themselves down, personally.
Was it? Are we talking like Game of Thrones ending? Like, you know how...
No.
You know how... You know how like Game of Thrones people weren't really happy with it? It was like, oh God, they could have done... Are we saying it was the same energy with that? Or
it's not that same energy. I just feel like there was missed opportunities and for me, I think the biggest problem is I didn't like the fact that they set things up and then they end up going nowhere. That's what it was for me. And I think there was a lot of false promises from people who were involved in it that were saying, this is going to happen. Elizabeth Olsen, who's the main lady, said herself there's going to be a cameo to the level of Luke Skywalker. And then really... Yeah, exactly. And there wasn't. If she was talking about Evan Peters coming back as Quicksilver, we already knew that. So it couldn't have been that. And then Paul Bettany put himself in it. He's the dude that plays Vision. He said, I can't wait to work with an actor I've never worked with before. Turns out he had to come out and say it was just himself. So I'm just disappointed.
Yeah, I think as well as like Marvel fans, like, you can't just say stuff like that and not deliver because we hold it to heart. You know what I'm saying? So I think it seems a bit of like maybe they wanted to build some hype around it and they kind of like lure more people into it. But yeah, I'll definitely give that.
They did that for sure.
This is like hate.
It's not hate.
I enjoyed the series. Good. This is real hate.
I've said that. I enjoyed it. I said it's 7 out of 10. I think it was just missed opportunities. Elizabeth Olsen is a great actress. That I think that she really showcases that in this. I think there's some really good episodes. I looked to episode 4 when they're trying to work it all out and they're like, oh my gosh, this is what's happening. There was some really good moments. I was in the minority. I really enjoyed the first 2 episodes, which were just strictly like her being silly in the sitcom sort of thing, and people didn't get it, but I enjoyed. They tried a thing, and for me, it worked. For certain people, it didn't. I enjoyed the show. I just think they didn't stick the landing. I mean, I'm talking about the finale here. I'm not talking about the show overall.
Execution. You're just saying the execution of the ending could have been better per se. No, and I was going to say 7 out of 10 ratings, not bad for a series. I don't.
It's a first score.
Yeah,
and do you know what? Marvel can hold that because that's the first time they've ever done a TV show. So obviously there's gonna be things that they have to sort out and try and pattern. So yeah, I get it. It is what it is.
What about you, E-Man and Collins? Did you like the ending for the series?
I did. I really enjoyed how it ended because it was like she doesn't know who she is. She just knows that she has powers and she can do whatever with these powers until she realizes the extent of her powers. And then she starts learning from, what's her name? Agatha Harkness. Like she starts learning from her and then that's how she defeats her at the end of like the episode. And then now she has to give up everything and then she goes somewhere, and then now she's taken her powers to the next extent. Like she's now Super Saiyan 2. Do you get what I'm saying? She's now over and above her previous. She's now
I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
Did you know a lot of the theories and stuff that like was going around online and stuff like that?
I didn't watch anything. I just I knew about Monica Rambeau just because of the surname. And I knew about the story because she was supposed to be the first. Well, basically, Captain Marvel was the first black Captain Marvel, and then she turned into Photon, and then so on and so forth. So I know about Monica Rambeau.
Yeah.
But other than that, I didn't know anything else. I was just watching it, and I was just like watching it.
Yeah, you was enjoying WandaVision for the show it was, not for. See, that's probably I would have enjoyed it, or I would have enjoyed it more. I don't want to say I would have enjoyed it more, but I had certain expectations, probably because I read into the theories too much. So that's kind of skewed how I feel about it. I think as a story for Wanda and Vision, it's fine. It did its job. But I think they were telling us that it was going to set up so many different things. You got them saying it's setting up Spider-Man 3, it's setting up Doctor Strange 2. I didn't see any of that.
Yeah.
You know?
I watched that like basically this week, once the episode had been aired. Because whether or not this is the last episode or this is the one, is it called penultimate episode?
I think this is the final episode.
Yeah, whether it be the final episode or the one before the final episode. I just watched the theories just to confirm everything. And but pretty much, I mean, I enjoyed it. And as I was watching it, I understood the story bit by bit. So, and that's just from previous knowledge of what was going on. I mean, I think I'll have to do that for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Just because I don't know too much information about them. But I know that they're both great actors, both of them, and they're going to portray the characters to the best of their abilities. So to see that happen, I really want to see that happen, and then Loki will come out. But I really enjoyed the series. I'm just hearing my take.
Can I ask a quick
question? I don't think
it's
hate. I think it's constructive criticism.
Go on, bro.
Just a quick one. Is this like, is WandaVision like from the end of, because I've only watched the movies, isn't it? So is it left off from there? Is it is that like a continuum? It is. It is in MCU, so it's they even talk about things like Infinity War and Endgame in it. There's even a great episode where you see everyone come back from the snap in Endgame, so they all tie in together really well. Okay.
So yeah, if you watch that, like you're also in the film world, that they discuss things that happen in the film, etc.
Yeah, no, I do need to give that a go because it's like it's kind of like where was that left off Endgame? We know kind of where it was left off, but like how into the series, how they're going to kind of implement that. And yeah, so I'll give that a go, man. I'll give that a go for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely still worth watching. They actually did something outside of the box for once, so I wouldn't say and slay it, but I do probably sit somewhere in the middle of E-Man and Demi. I do feel Demi's disappointment because I saw some of the theories as well, and I do think there was so much more they could do, even though some of the theories were a bit janky. But I do get Demi's sentiment, but at the same time, with E-Man, I like he said, like it was still a good watch, and they still ended it relatively well to the point that they have scope to further her character and just a whole overarching MCU. There's definitely going to be more weird stuff to come, from what I can tell anyway.
That's a fact. All right. So topic 4. So final topic for today. It's a bit of a juicy one. Is Meghan and Harry. So Meghan and Harry are doing their Oprah interview. Will be airing on ITV on Monday. I don't know if I'm going to watch it though. I'll try to watch it.
The tea is hot with this one.
Boy, you got to get that tea out, man. That peppermint tea out, boy.
What are we wearing to the interview?
It's brewing, boy.
Drip or down?
Jeez, it's a mad thing.
Nah.
Yeah, so, what's people's takes on this?
First of all, I need to... Yeah, I guess my question to the people is whose side are you on?
That's a good question.
I mean, what, as in like
Remember,
the throne, as in like the royal family or Meghan and Harry?
so the royal, yeah, that's it.
I mean, it's
because
Meghan and Harry, isn't it? Surely.
But there is,
Yeah, you already know.
the thing is that there's like,
M's up, baby.
the war is kind of like beginning in a sense, because it's like the nation are feeling like the people that do respect the royal family. I'm not saying I don't respect the royal family, but I'm not really into it like that. But the people that do are like, yo, what's this woman? What's Meghan? Like, what are these not on? It's like, it's war, innit? Because it's an interview. They're talking about the monarchy. We don't know what kind of information they're going to go into. Like, I think they've said about bullying now. And you know, the Queen don't rap with all of this. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
nah, she's not. She's not on
never
it.
happened.
And
history, you know? Like, if you really deep it, like,
I guess you could argue Diana.
Remember last year?
You already know what they did.
Remember last year when Thingy just spin the Mercedes? What was it? The Mercedes, a Land Rover.
Oh yeah, what's his name? It was that Philip, innit?
And she was just like, "You man, for real? Who are you?
That's jokes.
Let me look at all your faces so I can remember who to kill first, and then drive off."
Oh, the Queen when she was pulling up.
Yeah.
She was
pulling up. She was like,
whipping excursion.
I don't know none of you idiots.
Nah,
but
that's a fact.
From that point up until now, yeah, like this right here.
It's messy, man. I can't lie. And
so messy.
Listen,
it's so bad.
I'm here for not for Meghan. Listen, if I'm in a family and let's just say I'm going for a dinner and one of them is wearing a racist brooch proudly
on site,
you've got to go, man. Yo, can't get my jacket. We're leaving. It's disgusting.
But Demi, can I ask you a quick question though? Like, but do you not think there should have been expectancy with that? Like for Meghan's end, like not saying to accept it, but like I know how forward we've come as a nation, yeah. And to be fair, UK compared to US were a lot more integrated in a sense, innit? But there's still these underlying racist issues. But for me, it's like the royal family. We know a lot of them is like the riches are based on colonialism. So for me, it's like to have that shock value just to see someone wearing that brooch. I don't know.
Yes, but it's terrifying. She's not even dark. Like you know, me and you were dark brothers. Imagine if it was us. Do you know what? I'd go to the bus stop and they'd be like, let's say Prince Harry was a princess, and I'm at the bus stop. They'll say, again at the bus stop, probably waiting for his bloody mates or something. The articles they put out, they don't care. Like you can expect something to happen, but I don't think mentally you can ever prepare yourself for what you're really going into. And I respect Harry. You know, he's come out and said, "I've got to protect my princess. I've got to protect my queen." Like that's first and foremost. I've seen what the man did to my mum. I have evidence.
Yeah, I read that. I read that. Mm-hmm. Harry's a different breed. You know, man's been doing the gun fingers from there. You know, he's a different.
Yeah, he's a real one. He's a real one.
Yeah, he's
been a real one for the job.
Guys, I got a question for you lot though. Something I was thinking about from this. Do you think? I mean, I have my answer, and I think it's a bait one, but it breeds for good conversation. Do you think that the UK media hates her because she's a black woman, or do you think it's because she's American?
I don't. I'm gonna say because she's black, because I've never seen this treatment to anyone else, and even just that there's thousands of articles that I don't want to say thousands, but there's dozens of articles that you can find where you literally see for Kate and then you see for Meghan doing the same thing, like literally just stepping out their front yard, and it's look how regal she is, and then it's Meghan steps out looking weird, and the articles are mad. Like that's the only difference, and she's not even like a dark woman as well. To me, it can't be anything else.
But I say that because I think in our country, or especially the monarchy, they have a very specific way they look at tradition and the way they look at adhering to being a royal. Now with Americans, they are very, very liberal and very like, hey man, you know, mise en scène, like not mise en scène, you know what they're looking for, just laid back. And the fact that they've gone back to America, I feel like in the UK, you can ask somebody who's probably not racist, probably doesn't have any preconceived notion of Meghan and be like, oh, what do you think about her? And they'll just hate her. But I think some of that is stemmed from the fact that she's also American. Now, obviously, she's black, so obviously ups the
behind it. Yeah,
I do think people are forgetting the fact that the American aspect does add to.
But the only reason they went to America is I can't like. Harry's literally saying, "Fam, this is the reason why I've gone because the media out there is too chatty. So I have to leave. I have to protect my family. I mean, obviously, none of this stuff goes away just because you move to a different country. It's still all online. But maybe if that's what he has to do. Bro said it was literally for his mental health. If he goes and does something now, they'll all be chanting mental health. Look what we did to him. It's our fault. He told you. I don't get it.
I want to add something as well to Colin's question because I think it is to do with, there is that color aspect of her being a black woman, but I also think it's more to do with the American side thing because I think it's like, this lady's come from America. She's come to Buckingham Palace. She's not conformed. You know what I mean? She's not like, you know what I mean? People go there and they play a role, and I don't think she's played that role. And maybe, the media was attacking her a bit and making it harder for her to kind of fit into that. I agree. But I think it was like, I think the Queen and all of them are like, why did you not just marry an English girl that's in lineage of all of this? And keep it simple. I know, real talk. I think it's a bit. I think it's
facts.
You're doing. I think they're looking at Harry like you're doing up the most, bro. Like, look, now you've got an American girl, and now we're out here in Hollywood doing Oprah Winfrey. I think it's just. It's more like you could have just kept it British. Yeah. You could have kept it PG. You know what I mean? You could have kept it PG tips.
I mean, my only rebuttal to that is. You know what I mean? My only rebuttal to that would be his dad played by the rules, married Diana, who was British, is in the lineage, and she still messed up the bag. I think, okay, what I would say is maybe it's like what you would say is if you have a role to play, just try and play it. And I think at times my only criticism might be that Meghan has not. There's things that you have to do that they expect of you. And you have to just do those things. Some of them are jarring. Some of them you don't understand because they're like 1,000-year-old rules. But you've got to do them. And I think she opted to.
She was way over her head, though, isn't it? Like, let's be honest. For Meghan, though, like to be fair to Diana kind of was used to that at some sort. But she was an actor. She was an actress. Sorry, I don't know if that's the right term. But she it's a whole different world to her. So I feel like she's way over her head with doing that. But to be fair, if she loves someone, she's going to ride for that. But the main thing I would say is is their safety. Like Harry, he's seen his mum been affected by this. We've all got conspiracy theories around this and stuff like that. But I think if the guy's feeling safer in America than his home place, that even speaks volumes in itself.
That's it.
So, yeah.
Even if, let's say, even if people perceive Meghan moving mad, I think she might not like the royal family at the moment because of everything her husband's told her. When you're seeing someone and then...
It's true.
You might be pillow talking and they hate someone. They're like, I don't like this person. And then you start to not like that person.
Yeah, their enemy becomes your enemy.
They talk me X, Y, and Z. Exactly. So I think that's probably what's happened. That's her husband. And she has to survive him like that.
But what about the decision to talk to Oprah?
Simple.
Oh, you okay?
Yeah, no, I think it's because she's black. Because the royal family wouldn't have accepted her. If they didn't allow the marriage. Do you know what I'm saying? They allowed the marriage. So I think the royal family themselves, they've accepted the fact that that's Harry's wife. Do you know what I'm saying? But I think because of tradition and symbolism for the nation, they don't see it as pure. Do you get what I'm saying? Sorry to offend anybody with that sort of word, but they would rather see a white person in the royal family and accept that, and then everybody just roll with it. Whereas now that she's a black woman, I mean, listen, if the Queen really wanted to, she could have just stepped in and said, listen, you guys were writing bad things about you, you guys need to stop. She could have easily done that.
It's a fact.
She does have the power, because you have to understand she is the royal. She is the heir to. She is the throne basically. And you haven't really ever heard anything bad about the Queen.
Boy, even Philip, bruv, my man is doing the mad thing, and
I don't know how.
You know,
Andrew right now he's done the most.
Oh, that's
and nothing's being said.
Yeah, it's true.
So I think
it's crazy.
The media right now is playing.
What?
That got
the media right now is playing this whole game because they know that this race situation is money. They know that the best way to make money is to divide people and just keep them opinionated and hate each other. So I think that's really the issue. It's because she's black. Whether she's American, whether she's from. I mean, look, Harry and Prince William, they all went to Jamaica. They all did their thing there. There was no bad article after that. But now that Harry's married to a black woman, it's like, look at them niggling with each other. Do you know what I'm saying? Simple words like that, niggling. Like, this is a real word, bro. Like,
that's a fact.
So I think what the media has done is they've taken this, they've seen the whole entire race issue that's been going on, and they're like, you know what, let's just capitalize on that.
Because 100%. I don't even go under their articles no more. It's definitely a form of marketing right now.
It's affecting their mental health. Like, this is Harry's wife. This is the mother of his children. Even though he's not the direct heir to the throne, he is still in line. Do you know what I'm saying? Even though he might be or 8. That's somebody who could potentially be the king. So then now you've messed up so much. She's like, you know what? I don't want to be a part of this royal family anymore because you guys are messing me around. You guys are actually coming and scrutinizing my life. It's the same thing that happened to Michael Jackson. Every single time they were writing something bad about Michael Jackson this, Michael Jackson that. He was like, yo, listen, I can't take this anymore. You guys are just writing bad things about me. I mean, there's a lot of celebrities that do go through this a lot of times where it's like, can I just get a break? Can I just have one whole month where no one's writing anything bad about me, where no one's taking pictures about me, no nothing, basically. That's what's happening. So I think with this situation, I think it's because she's black, and I think what the media is trying to do is just divide the nation and capitalize on racism, really and truly.
What's going to be the repercussions of this, though? Like, because, you know, things are going to get exposed in this interview. You know, like, it's Oprah we're talking about here. Like, so things are going to be touched on that. Sorry, go on.
No, I'm agreeing with you. I hope so. I just hope it's not a sweet interview. Like, I need that energy. Otherwise, this is just a waste of time.
Yeah, that's the thing. If it's
2 hours long as well. So if them are just coming up to do up nice and ask questions like, what's your favorite fruit? I'm not here for it.
Yeah, they need to come with a team, man. And I think, like, because I was going to say, wasn't it Diana, and this is, I don't know how accurate this is, but wasn't Diana dating a doctor that was of an ethnic background? And wasn't that what somewhat kind of was like, oh, hey, what's going on here? I don't know how.
I don't know the theories behind it. I know that she had an affair. Either she was separated or divorced. I don't think divorced because I haven't heard anything about Diana divorcing, but I know that she had an affair. And from that point, it was like, I done her. Do you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
now that Harry's come out and said, listen, I don't want the same thing happening to my wife what happened to my mum. Sorry, I don't want the same situation what happened to my mum to my wife. And that's why I left. So if he's saying stuff like that, that's a massive cry for help. That's basically saying, mate, the royal family's doing this and the media's doing that. It seems like they're playing husband and wife just to destroy me. So it's just like, I'm going to leave and I'm going to step back. So that's what it is. I think that's what it is, really and truly.
The tea's going to be hot, as I said, with this one, man. 2 hours.
Oh, it better be.
Boy.
This 2 hours.
I'm looking forward to it.
And I think that, like, I just hope, like, they do, you know, spill the tea and whatnot, but they really do need to be careful because, like, we've seen it, like, what happened to Diana. We see how these things do, you know. We found them there. They took some pills, like, next thing. And then, as well, as an audience, sometimes we're fickle. We just kind of like, next story. So it's, you know, we'll see. We'll see what comes of it. But, yeah, it's going to be a whole lot of tea and a whole lot of madness, though, boy.
I think they're going to give a lot of tea, but just be careful with their wording of things.
I was going to say,
but yeah, we'll see.
Is the media and the monarchy hand in hand with this though? Because I feel like the media just, are they on their own? Or because I know Iman was going to say the Queen had the power. The Queen could have the power to kind of stop this, but I feel like the media is going to sell whatever story that sells, isn't it?
Yeah, but if the media want, I mean, if they want to, they can. They could definitely, if they see something happening, they have enough influence and sway to change the narrative. And they've just chosen not to. I think for me, what's interesting though is just how like getting black people riled up has become a tactic for these people to sell papers. I just think what's the most crazy headline which will get them angry, and they just go with that. And it does. Sometimes it works. Like what I've stopped now is for things like Meghan and Harry, I've stopped going in the comments because people are just hating.
People are wild.
It's
the worst place to go, man. It's the worst.
That's a fact.
I think as well, this just showed like we've all been kind of conscious of that underlying racism, but like how people be saying like there's no racism in Britain. I think this is kind of like here we are, but like this is still happening. You get what I'm saying? So I think that's an eye-opening thing as well. Because I think, and who I'm speaking to in that sense is that Americans look at Britain like there's no racism over here. Do you know what I'm saying? But now this story is kind of like, well, hold on, we've got Prince Harry's out here in your country because his wife is of a black ethnicity and like he's not safe. So yeah,
there's a lot of racism. There's a lot of racism. Even like right now with the situation with coronavirus and Chinese individuals. I mean, a couple years back, everyone was just trying to find a Muslim person and just bang them out in the face. Do you get what I'm saying? That happened in Chafford at one point. I even messaged a couple guys that said, "Listen, stay safe because you don't know what's going to happen to you." And really, I'm kind of scared for them. But now, years later, today, it's the same situation with Chinese people or anybody of Eastern Asian facial features. So it could be somebody who's Japanese and it's like, no, I'm not Chinese, I'm Japanese. No, you're not, you're a liar. You brought coronavirus here, bang, bang, bang. Do you get what I'm saying? Students are getting banged up just because they're Chinese. So to say that racism doesn't exist in the United Kingdom is a lie. Can I say it's the biggest problem in the UK? Well, that's for another debate and that's for another discussion. But it's a problem that does need to stop.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I think as well, Britain just... I don't want to bash it because, at the end of the day, I love the contract in itself with the positive aspects to it, but I think it's a bit more slicker with racism than the US. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't actively have the KK clan here and all this stuff here, but you know what I mean? There's some people in the powers that be in the hierarchy that position this in this way, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's what it is.
All right, so I think that's all for today. Made in Chafford, episode 77. Before we finish, I was just about to say, give me a chance. God damn.
On your neck.
For episode 77, so music. Lads, tell us the music you've been listening to this week.
So my recommendation is a song called I Need by A2. It came out a while ago, actually, maybe a year or two ago. It's under Them versus Us, but it's definitely A2 that's spitting on there. But yeah, check it out. I'll put it on the playlist. The beat is cold, like the beat is out of this world, and he's floating on there as well. So,
A2 always has sick productions. I rate A2.
Yeah,
another underrated. He's that underground as well. I feel like he's hard. He's putting in the work for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
My choice will be What I Need by Drake featuring Lil Baby himself. Just a really good track from a really good EP. So yeah, I am enjoying that, and I think I'll continue to for the rest of the week. Bro, what's your choice? I don't know.
I'll go next.
yeah, go for it.
Besides listening to the Peppermint EP, guys, check that out if you haven't checked it out. I have been listening to a gentleman called Reggie. He's only made 2 tracks, but he's wavy. It's like singing. Let me get the song titles if you actually do want to check it out. how can I compare it? He reminds me of like a modern day D'Angelo.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
that kind of vocalism. And
that's some high praise.
Yeah, like Southside Fade and I Don't Want to Feel No More. And it's weird because they're quite like depressive lyrics, but it makes you really feel alive. So I'd say if you're in like a kind
of
of
Brent Fires sort of bag.
Yeah, that kind of vibe. Yeah, definitely. He's up there. He's up there, like for sure. So that's what I've been vibing with. Yeah.
I love that. E-Man?
Sorry for the absence, but the song is Danny Sanchez, Kibble, Box in the
Face. That's a hard tune as well. That's a hard tune.
Shout out to Javel for actually putting me on for that.
Yeah, that's a hard tune still. That's a hard tune. UK, there's a lot of music out there still.
100%.
Love that. All right, so Javel, tell the people where they can find you online, bro.
Okay, so you can find me at all the socials. I only have Insta, so it's at La'Pelle 1111. So yeah, you can find me on there, and then there's my SoundCloud link to obviously listen to the Peppermint Tea EP. So check that out, and yeah, man, peoples as well. Please just keep in tune with the Made in Chaff podcast. You three are doing some amazing things, man. And thank
Appreciate
you,
it, bro. It was a great episode. I really enjoyed today.
Yeah, me too.
I'm about to check out One Division out and also listen to the Drizzy album. So I'll keep you man posted on how I find it.
I'm interested to hear your opinion.
No, 100.
Could be some bars afterwards, fam.
So Made in Chafford podcast episode 77. Until next time, peace.
Peace, guys.